Peace and love, kings and queens. This is your goddess, Unkosasana. Today we're going to be talking to you all about sacred space. What items to have in your sacred space. What items to not have in your sacred space. What is sacred space? You're going to learn all about it today. Stay tuned. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Peace and love to everyone. Love and peace to everyone. This is Unkosasana Divine, and today I'm coming with a video to let you all know about sacred space. What is sacred space? What is in my sacred space? What do I feel should be in sacred space? Why do you need sacred space? All of that good information we're going to talk about today for a little while. Just to catch up on me, I have been through my Complete Sacred Woman initiation. I've graduated and on to my journey, completing my journey. Well, your journey is never really complete. You're always doing things and moving to improve yourself. But for me, that was a journey all in itself. So I have completed that portion of my journey and moving forward. So I just wanted to come and give you all some information today. So sacred space, what is sacred space to me? For me, sacred space is somewhere that you can come and do all of those things to enlighten your spirit, and it's just one place that all of that energy can be captured and built upon, and it's somewhere that you can do whatever it is that you need to do to uplift yourself, to become your higher self, to pray, to meditate, to release, to cleanse yourself, to pray, to do all of those things you need to do to build yourself up, whatever that might be. Sacred space is not necessarily something that is a part of a religion. It can be a religious type of space. It can be geared towards any religion. Any religion you can think of, you can build sacred space for that. Any action of enlightenment and self-building, you can use or build sacred space geared towards that. For me, I have several sacred spaces in my home. One of them being my ancestor altar. My other sacred space is just my personal altar, where I do several different things. But sacred space can be really anything that has been consecrated, blessed, and is a holy place to do things that uplift you, and just to keep your energy in one space that you always can go to. So that's just my description of what sacred space is. How do you use sacred space? Like I said, many different ways. You can come there to pray. You can come there to meditate. You can come there to go into trance. You can come there to bless and consecrate yourself or different items that you would like to use for sacred things. You can use it for journaling. You can use it for maybe it's your yoga space. Maybe it's your space where you can come to be creative and be able to sit and gather all of your creative thoughts. That can be a sacred space for you as well. And if you are that religious person or a person that practices a certain religion, maybe you want to read your Bible there. Maybe you want to read your Quran there. Any and all of the type of sacred things can be done in a sacred space. Why do you need sacred space? Once again, it's a place to capture and focus all of the energy in one place. I will use, because I came from a Christian background, I will use the church for an example. A church is a sacred space. It's a space that different people that are under the church, or they're looking for that certain goal, come and they focus all of their energy in that space. The energy is kept in that space, and energy is filled up in that space. So to talk about my sacred space, like what's some things that I have in my sacred space. Not my ancestor altar, but my personal altar, where I come to meditate, where I come to read my sacred books and passages, where I come to journal, where I come to release, where I come to cry, where I come to do all different things to uplift myself and to build myself and to become closer to God, to enlighten myself, and all these different things in my sacred space. The first thing that is important to me in my sacred space is having a cleansed cleansed space that has been cleansed of negative energy or stagnated energy. So one way you can do that is simply cleaning an empty space, cleaning a space that is set aside apart from a space that you do other things in. So my space is where I am right now. It's beside my bed in the corner, away from eyes of everyone else and away from everyone else being able to have access to it. So it's a corner in my room beside my bed where my children, they aren't allowed in this space unless I give them permission. They know not to come in this space. It's not a space right in the middle of my home where there's traffic coming through this space. It's set aside. So that's the first thing. It needs to be clean. And you can also just physically clean it with a broom. Remove everything that's not sacred. Remove all of those items. Have a clean canvas. And you can take just some pure water, add a little bit of sea salt or some type, not table salt, but some type of salt, and clean baseboards, clean the walls with that salt after you have already swept and dust. You want to clean that physical dirt and debris, and then spiritually clean it with the water and salt. You also can use a little bit of ammonia in the water and clean your baseboards, clean your walls, just spiritually clean it. And you can mentally clean it by praying over the space. You can mentally channel, the white light coming into your space to clean that space out. And then after it's clean and the clean canvas is tidy, everything is out of the way, then I would place an altar there, some type of raised platform, or it doesn't have to be raised. It can be right on the floor, but you want to put some type of clean and sacred cloth or towel or piece of fabric down. I love using linen and cotton because they are natural fabrics, and I love using platforms that are made from wood or natural substances because it holds a higher vibration. Anything natural holds a higher vibration than something that is not natural. Let's say, for example, like plastic. So I love using wood for my altars, and I go to thrift stores and things like that, and I physically clean the items and I spiritually clean the items. And you can sage the area as well. A lot of people, we know about sage, so that's always a great way to clean, but don't forget that sage is not the only herb that can be used to clean space. So many other herbs can be used to clean space as well. Then you can come back, I'm kind of skipping over the place, but you can come back and bless the space with frankincense and myrrh and things like that. So your altar, you want to have somewhere that's comfortable or something that's comfortable. I have a nice little cute little pillow covered with some something soft and nice that I can be comfortable when I'm sitting down at all times. Another good thing to do is have things that are visual reminders or visual words or affirmations or pictures and images that are in line with what you are working towards or things you want to be reminded of, things like that. So that's always good to have in your sacred space, images. You can see I have my incense. You want to have your different type of incense, whether it be some type of sage smoke or just incense, your dupes, your what else do I use for air, the air element? Sage, or burning of herbs, frankincense and myrrh, things like that. And you do want to include your 4 elements. Your 4 elements are, of course, earth, air, fire, and water. So I like to keep my air element. Of course, your fire element, that's what you probably hear in the background, is my candle burning. And I love all types of different candles. This is my candle for my sacred self, my divine self. And that is burning. I keep that burning a lot. Fragrance is great as well. And fragrance can represent different elements. And I learned from Dr. Africa that, you know, we don't want to think that we limited to certain things. So if we don't have an incense or a herb to burn, we can use different images, different materials and tools to represent the different elements as well. For example, air, you can put a picture of something that represents air, like an image of the wind blowing. And of course you can't see the wind, but maybe an image of the trees where you know the wind is blowing. So that's your air element. Your fire element, it are your candles. It could be some type of light source. I have a little light that I can place different things on, and it illuminates those things. So you want to have a light source as well. Some people don't, you know, do candles, so just have something that has a light source in your sacred area. Water, you always want to have a bowl of water, and I like to use wood or clay or glass, because those are natural. Well, is glass natural? I don't know, I'll come back to that. But anyway, you want to have crystal, that's what I use. That's natural. I use crystal bowls as a water basin to fill with water, to have the water element around. And also, like I said, you can use different images. So you can maybe want to use a picture of a lake or a picture of the ocean or something blue that represents water in your sacred space. And last, earth. You want to have something that represents earth in your sacred space. Or let me not say you want to. Let me rephrase all of those you want tos and replace them with I like to have an earth element. And for me, those are normally my stones. I am a stone person. I don't know the word for that, but crystals and stones of the earth, rough crystals and stones, are one of my favorite things. And I specialize in crystals and stones. So for example, depending on what my goal is or what type of things I'm working on or what I need in my life at that time, I have a corresponding stone that goes with that. So I always need to be grounded. I am a air sign. I'm always in my head. I'm always in fantasy world land. I always am thinking. I'm a thinker. I'm always in my head about everything. So I keeps me a grounding stone / protection stone in my sacred space. So that's important for me. I have a bunch of stones around me right now. Like I have, let me just name some. I won't show you all of them, but I keeps a piece of selenite in my sacred space. I use this to scan myself or scan different items, and also to clean my stones. I have my jewelry, which I love clear quartz jewelry. And as you know, with clear quartz, they have to be cleaned on a regular basis. So I take this and I just sit it right on top of my selenite wand. Boom. I have some other pieces of selenite for different pieces of stones, different quartz crystals I have. My pendulum is a natural stone. They have 3 natural stones on them, actually. I have a selenite tower over there, and I have moonstone and rose quartz over there as well. And I have these other beautiful little selenite pieces. Then another earth element is to have a plant or something alive, something with life there, and representing that earth element. So the 4 elements are very important for me to have in my sacred space. I have What else do I have? I have a sacred symbol to consecrate my space. The sacred symbols I use are the Ankh. So this is an Ankh, but this is not the one that I have on my altar. The one I have on my altar is over there. It's a very nice, beautiful Ankh piece. This is an earring. I purchased this as an earring when I first bought it, before I had a better Ankh, or this one is still very well, it's wood, but before I got a bigger, more extravagant Ankh, I used this one. I just took the little piece off, I cleaned it, consecrated it, and this is what sat on my altar for a while, because we have to remember that we don't have to spend a whole lot of money for spirituality. Spirituality is free. So I had these earrings. I purchased them for like $1, and I used this for a very long time, and I still keep it near my altar. I just don't have it on it. Another thing that I keep in my sacred space is your different oils. This is lotus oil, frankincense oil, some flower essences. I keep those in my sacred space to anoint myself and to anoint other things. I add oils to my water up there. So I'm looking at my altar right now. I have a white cloth down. I have a little beautiful like stone drawer that I keep certain things in. I keep my coal and my frankincense and things like that in my little drawer. I keep a feather for my odd and balance. I keep candles up there depending on what I need the candles for. I keep certain colors. Colors represent different things, so whatever color, whatever thing I need, I use that. I keep incense holders to burn out the incense. Right now I'm just using an abalone shell for my incense, but I do have little different type of holders, standing and coal burners around my altar space. I keep my beautified mirror in my sacred space. I keep some holy water or some type of consecration water or cleansing water. Florida water stays in my sacred space. Different color candles depending on what I may need. So I have extra candles on hand, tea candles, candle holders on hand. Those go underneath my altar so that I can grab them whenever I need them. I keep a Bible in my sacred spaces. I keep I said candles. Oh, I keep my singing bowl in my sacred space. I keep my tarot cards, my pendulums in my sacred space, a little musical instrument to break up the energies. I keep different cloths and pieces of fabric so that I can cover my head. I can use different fabrics for different things. I want to wrap myself sometimes. Sometimes I come straight out of my spiritual bath, so I just use the cloth to just, wrap myself real quick. To my left here, there is a box full of items, and I have many things. I have a lot of things. So I use this little box to keep them. In case I need anything, I can go to them real quick. Pencil and paper or pen and paper, I keep that in my sacred space. Different head washes that I may need right then and there. I keep my incense. I keep my frankincense. I keep little bells, different candles, and a bunch of other things are in this box over here. All of my resins and things like that I might need. Anything I need to grab real quick. So if I wanted, a certain flower essence, I want a certain oil, I keep those things close to me. I keep my medicine bags in my sacred space. My travel medicine bag and my master medicine bag, they are all in my sacred space. I keep a little trash bin, so I have a little glass, it's like a little glass, it looks something like my candle holder. It's a glass little basin that I use to put my candle scraps in, or my I keep my candle scraps in there. Any of my waste, incense waste, or coal waste, or anything like that I I need to dispose of, but I don't want to move right away, so I'll just throw them inside of that bucket. I keep some water, like water bottles, nearby in case, you know, anything happens, because I do deal with a lot of candles, or sometimes you just need a drink of water, or sometimes you need to refill your basin that you used to pour into your bowl, or that you used to do your libations. So I have a cute crystal container that I use to keep that filled up with water to refill to pour my libations when I do that. What else? I keep a little container. I keep a little container of salt around because I like to put salt inside my water. And what else is here? I keep some little labels so that I can label the bottom of my candles, because sometimes I work with so many different candles for different reasons, and I need to be reminded of what candles are for which. For example, I may be using a candle to calm myself. I may be using a candle for deeper meditation. All of those things. So I just label the bottom of my candles with my pen or pencil. And yeah, that's about it. That's a lot of things. So like I said, I do keep a little container to keep everything organized and try not to be cluttered. And I have a little rug, a prayer rug here that's right in front of my altar. So in my opinion, what should go or what should not go in your sacred space? Your sacred space can have anything that is sacred to you. Anything that is sacred. I just named the sacred things to me. My stones, my candles, my Bible, my different oils and different essential oils and different oils that I fixed up, different fixed candles, different elements, different resins, different things like that. All should go into your sacred space if you so choose to do that. I keep a little power source nearby, if in case I need, for whatever reason, whatever. And for me, I believe that your sacred space should always be neat and clean, like not a whole bunch of incense dust all over the place. No trash should be in your sacred. I don't believe that trash should be in the sacred space. I was taught that by my abus that you don't put pictures of the dead with pictures of the living, so you don't want to, you know, cross those realms in your sacred spaces. What else? For me, my children they just aren't allowed in my sacred space, in my personal sacred space. In the ancestors' sacred altar, they're allowed in the ancestor altar, but they just aren't allowed in my sacred space because I have a lot of things that are dangerous over here. Like they can knock over a candle, or they can knock over some glass or anything like that. And my children are, you know, they're explorers. So they may come over here and write on something that isn't to be wrote on or anything. And I just don't want that to happen. So they're not allowed in my personal sacred space. What else should not be in sacred space? Just anything that isn't in line with what your sacred space is all about. You know, if you have instruments or things like that, that's fine, that's cool. And normally my phone is not in my sacred space unless I am recording a video. Other than that, my phone stays out of my sacred space. So I named some things that I named what sacred space is to me. I named within my sacred space. I named why you should have sacred space, things that should be in sacred space, things that should not be in sacred space. And every once in a while, you should go ahead and cleanse and refresh your sacred space. Wash up the different fabrics and garments that you're using. Go ahead and just remove everything and give it a great sweep and a great clean, because the little dust particles that come out of the candles, that come off the coal, they tend to get everywhere. So sooner or later you'll find yourself with dust and things everywhere if you just don't clean every now and then. Wipe down, pray over it, you know, refresh it, and I believe that the spirits will appreciate that, and they will be more willing to come into your sacred space and to help you to get whatever your goals are met. Sometimes I keep little books to reference. I keep my journal over here in my sacred space. I have like so many different journals that I use for different reasons. So I keep this one for this reason, this one for that, you know, your dream journal. All those type of things can go in your sacred space. I don't show my sacred space to the world. Only certain people have been privy to be able to even see my sacred space outside of my family. And that's another thing I wanted to say, like, your sacred space can be anywhere in your home, but depending on your situation, you want to place your sacred space somewhere that basically negativity, it'll be harder for negativity to be thrown at your sacred space. You don't want that. You don't want your sacred space to be built up with negativity of someone else. This is a place that I use to cleanse myself, to renew myself, to energize myself, and to build my spirit up. And the last thing that I want is someone else's negativity in my space influencing that for me. So yeah, I'm constantly cleansing my space. I sage it up a lot, the incense, smoke it out a lot with the incense, you know. So yeah, that's that. My ancestor sacred space, that's a whole nother video. There are so many wonderful YouTubers who already have videos on ancestor altars in the sacred space for ancestors. So I encourage you to go check some of those out. Some of them have been on there for years. Some of them are just coming, but use your own discernment to figure out what is right for you, because on this journey that you go on my journey that I go on anyone's journey, you're always going to have so many different opinions and so much information coming in. When you go look for that information, you're going to find information. So you just have to know and decide within yourself what is important to you and what information that you will use for your advantage and how you will go about that. And please don't ever let anyone else influence your journey in a negative way. If you feel deep inside yourself and you get downloads and messages and spirit talks to you and tells you certain things, then please don't let anyone else tell you different, unless they, you know, are I'm gonna just leave it there. Don't let anyone else tell you. Use your own discernment on what the things you will listen to or not listen to or bring into your energy. So I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, wonderful life. I pray that you all have many blessings, peace, inner peace and inner love and self-love, and that you all love each other and that you support each other. If you like my video, please share with others and just let them know, hey, you know, check this video out. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. If you want to let me know what you have in your sacred space, go ahead and leave a comment down below so that I can know. I really would like to know what are some things that are in you all sacred spaces and what type of sacred spaces you have, because you can have so many different types. You know, you can have your abundance space, your love space, your career sacred space, your ancestor altar, your all these different type of things. And for me personally, I only deal in light and love. I only deal in peace and blessings. Only deal in positivity, so I don't hold space for negative or dark things. So, you know, those type of spaces, I don't have space for that. So once again, this is Nkosazana Divine, wishing you all peace and love, and don't forget to tell me about those sacred spaces. You all have a great, great, wonderful day. I hope that you all learned a lot. This is Nkosazana. Don't forget to visit us at ensemble.com to learn even more, get even more exclusive content that just might not be available here on YouTube. You all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful journey. Peace.